Now we'll talk about another step called create space. Create space for yourself in your life. Create space to be able to do that change, to cause that change. One of the hindrances to taking control of your destiny is lack of space. To gain more clarity and succeed in your destiny, you must create space in your life. In this era, we are juggling so many things. There are so many important things we are juggling. There are so many less important things. There are so many urgent things. There are so many emergencies, and all of them are mixed up. Most of the time, we are actually overwhelmed. We are overwhelmed with resolving crisis after crisis after crisis. We are running almost all the time in crisis resolution mode. I want to share the creation story, that beautiful creation story, as an illustration of prioritization. In the creation story, we are told God focused on 3 big priorities. The big priorities are those few things. If you focus on them, everything else gets sorted. Like I said, right now, we are focusing on everything. 30 things, 40 things. We are doing a lot. We are chasing so many things. In just communicating with your team alone, there are so many roles. What is my team saying on phone? You go on phone. What is my team saying on email? You go on your email. What is my team saying on social media? You go on social media. What is my team saying in the meeting? You go to the meeting. The priority is actually just to know your team. What is your team focused on? But you have actually done 4 things. You've tried to get them in the meeting. You've tried to get them in social media. You've tried to get them on email. You've tried to get them on, even physically. And when you multiply that kind of thing with all the priorities you have, it becomes crazy. But there are big priorities. If you focus on the big priorities, everything else falls in place. So in taking 100% control of our destiny, we must identify those big priorities. Now, in the creation story, God focused on 6 big priorities. He seems to have been thinking, if I fix these few things, everything else will fall in place. I want to challenge you to create time and read the creation story in the book of Genesis, one of the books in the Bible. Read the creation story. It's the opening story. It's the opening account in that book. But this is what it says. It says, on day 1, God said the priority is light. Let's create light. Let there be light. And the Bible says he just focused on that. Day 2, he focused on the sky and the atmosphere. That's another big priority. Day 3, he focused on the dry land, the seas, the plants, and the trees. That was his priority. Day 4, he focused on the sun, the moon, and the stars. Day 5, he focused on creatures in the water and birds in the sky. Day 6, he focused on animals on the land and human beings. And he actually ended there. But we know that in the earth we have mountains, we have amoeba, we have so many things. We have so many. They are not mentioned here. He focused on 6 priorities, and those 6 priorities gave birth to everything we see. He didn't we don't see him creating skyscrapers. But it seems he knew, if I create the land with its resources and I create man with his intellect, he will bring the skyscrapers. God didn't focus on everything. He focused on 6 big priorities. And those 6 big priorities gave us everything we have today. That is something to learn from. We can call those the big rocks in our lives, those big priorities. We can call them the big rocks. Someone has called them the big rocks. We can call them the big rocks of our lives. Now, we are talking about creating space. Our big rocks must find space in our lives. Because we've said our lives are so congested. Our lives in this era are so full. Our big rocks must find space. We must create space for them if we are to take charge, control of our destiny. What are those big rocks in a person's life? They are things like values, personal values, family values. They are things like health, your health. Your health is a big rock. There are things like a family. There are things like relationships, planning, career, business, finance, wealth, investment, lifestyle, community service, community contribution. Those are big blocks. They are big rocks. My observation of life is that when your life lacks space for your own big rocks, you start carrying the big rocks of other people. That's my observation. That anybody who fails to clarify the big rocks of their life and to fit them in their life, such a person begins to be a carrier of the big rocks of other people's lives, the big priorities of other people. If you don't plan your life, another person will plan how to use your life for their priorities. We will illustrate, we will demonstrate how this works. Sometimes, like we've said, our lives can be so full, like this jar. So full of the little things of life, the little urgent things of life, like the sand. This jar is full of sand. The little things of life are like a sand. There are so many. Then they come and pour in. We will take this jar to be our life, your life, my life, this jar. Now, this jar has been filled with sand. It is full to the brim. It is full, you can see, of sand. Sand are those nitty-gritties, those many things that make our lives so busy. So busy. There is no space in our lives. Now, in this jar, you can here and there see a black, something a little bit big, some priority of life, something a little bit big. You can see something a little bit big there. You can see something a little bit big there. You can see something, but predominantly it is full of the nitty-gritties of life. Now, an interesting thing will happen if life is like this, full of the nitty-gritties, and when we try now to come with our big priorities, our big rocks. We try to bring the big rocks. This is your life. Now you are trying to fit into this life the big things that matter in your life, the big rocks of your life. Maybe this is a family. You're trying to fit the family in. You're trying to fit career in. You can't go further. You try to fit finances, investment in. You can see the very, very important things are finding the life already full. This life is already full. You can see the important things. That's why we are talking about creating space in your life. The important things just can't fit in. They just can't fit in. And this is sometimes how our lives look. They are filled to the brim. They are filled to the brim. They just can't fit in. The important things of life just can't fit in. We will try another. We'll try another. We will see what experience we get. We will try another. We say probably if we reduce and have those little things, average, then we try to fit in the important things of life. We'll try to see. Trying to fit in the important things of life, the big rocks of life. Try to see. Try that. We've already run out of space. You see? Creating space. If we are to take destiny, 100% control of our destiny. Now let's try it another way. We see. How do we take control of our destiny? By creating space in our lives. So this one can't fit in. Let's try this one. Creating space. If we start by emptying our life, so that we create room, first of all, for the big rocks. We create space, first of all, for the big rocks. So we create space. We say, maybe this is family. Maybe this is family or personal life. We put it in there. Personal life has gone into our lives. Maybe this is family relationships. Let personal life be there. Probably now this is family relationships. Family relationships goes in there. Then we get career business goes in there. And then maybe this one is finance, wealth, investments, money goes in there. Then probably this is lifestyle. Put it in there, planning our lifestyle. So the big rocks have gone in. We've created space for the big rocks. Then these little things, which are also important, they are little things that are important. We try now to bring them in after we have put in the big rocks of our lives. We now try to bring these ones in, and we see we try to see see we've almost taken everything. When they went into our lives first, when these little things went into our lives first, they couldn't let our big rocks go in. But when the big rocks go in first, we can still find space in our lives for these little things. They can fit in. Once the big blocks go in, you can still always find space for these ones. You see? That is a well-balanced life. The big rocks are already in. They have fitted in very well. Then the little things also come and fit in. Now that is a life which has space for the priorities. It has those nitty-gritties which make you very busy, but the big blocks, the big building blocks are there. You are in charge of yourself. Your family is happy, supportive, focused. Your career, business is doing well, is planned well, it's maintained well. Your money, finance, investments are doing well. Yeah, they are tracked well. You do planning, budgeting, and everything. Your lifestyle is planned, and you are living a life you enjoy. That is a balanced life. That's a balanced life. I want to challenge you to go to the chat and type in some of your big rocks. What are those aspects of your life which you call, this is a big rock? Go to the chat and type in some of them. Family, job, business, community project. Okay, very interesting big rocks there. Now, in your book, I want to give you a few minutes. Write down the actions you will take on each of the three most important big rocks. From our lesson here, what are you going to do? Maybe you don't have space, your life doesn't have space for your big rocks. Tell us, write in your book, what action are you going to take? What is the action you are going to take to create space for your three most important big rocks? What is the action you are going to take? Write that one down. That is one of those atomic assignments, those little assignments which are very important. Now, this is a reminder. These big rocks are very important, but they never seem to be urgent. And that's why they get neglected. That's why everybody neglects them. Like a personal planning, it never feels urgent. It never feels urgent. It's not as urgent as a toothache. When you have a toothache and you need to see a dentist, that is very urgent. The pain tells you this is very urgent. Planning well, planning your life well, doesn't seem to be urgent. You can ignore it for a week, you can ignore it for a month, you can ignore it for 10 months, you can ignore it even for 10 years. It will always seem okay until you get that feedback we talked about, the feedback of life. So, what action are you going to take on your 3 most important big rocks to create space for them? In our illustration, even if some of those nitty-gritties remained, couldn't fit in, as long as the big rocks can fit in, they will give direction to the life. Lastly, something to focus on, we've talked about clarifying what you want. We talked about belief. Believe in it. Believe you can do it. Believe you can get that. Believe you can attain that. Believe you can reach that place. Believe you can achieve that goal. Number 3, we talked about creating space. Create space. If something is a priority, a big priority, big building block in your life, then create space for it. Create space to reflect on yourself, personal, on reflecting, on sitting down to evaluate, on sitting down to clarify your value system. Is it helpful to the direction you are going? Create space for your family. Create space for your career, business. Create space for your finances, wealth, investment, money. Create space for lifestyle, design. Not just enjoying, but designing the lifestyle. Choosing to say, this is how I will live my life. Create space for your community contribution.